everyone, I'm Cynthia LaShawn here with Take TV, where we're going to be discussing entrepreneurship and technology. I am here with Michael Polk, founder and CEO of StockPal, and it is an investing app. Can you talk more about your app that you have?
So StockPal is a retail trading investment platform similar to like Robinhood, E-Trade, Schwab, and our major differentiator is we allow people to connect their social media platforms to a trading platform and using AI discover publicly traded brands and companies you interact with on a daily basis. And then we send you a notification with sentiment analysis, whether it's a positive signal or a negative signal.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And especially now, everyone's talking about investing, but a lot of people don't tell you like how you can do it.
Exactly.
Or people think it's very intimidating. So
exactly.
With investing in tech and entrepreneurship, has that always been a part of your life, like growing up?
Investing, no. Technology, yes. And entrepreneurship, yes. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in Detroit, West Side, in not the best circumstances, but like in an okay neighborhood, LaSalle and Linwood, and went to like the top public school at Burton International. So my education was there, but my mother, I remember when she purchased us a computer, it was like we were like the first like personal computers that were dropping. I think it was just Windows. We had to type in the program in order to get Windows to boot up. Like it was like Win, semicolon, some C32, some shit like that. I can't remember for the life of me. I wish I could. And so we would use that, and I would use that. I would be on that as much as possible. That's where like my interest in technology probably got peaked. Mm-hmm. And then where business-wise, it was like everybody I was around was a black business owner. Mm-hmm. My mom started like a card company where it was like she was doing black cards, like holiday cards and stuff. I remember helping her in the kitchen, wrapping it with the blow dryer with a little plastic. You buy 5 cards at a time. I didn't know how many. I didn't know how she was selling. I just remember I was helping her. Then I remember the pastor of our church and one of his friends. They started a delivery service called Quick Fast Delivery, and they would sometimes during the summertime let us ride around with them, see them do deliveries. I worked for a guy who had a cleaning service. He would go in banks and clean them, and he would go into public schools in the summertime, strip the floors and re-wax them. Mm-hmm. I helped them with it. So I was like always surrounded by people that had their own businesses.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. I feel like when you see people doing certain things, it shows you that it's possible, right, or like options. Right. So when you was getting ready to apply for college, did you knew what you wanted to do, or it was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to college and explore what you might be interested in?
So I never wanted to go to college, for real. I never like saw it as like something I needed to do, because like I remember I read something somewhere that said Bill Gates makes so many millions of dollars while you go see a movie. He makes so much money per second while you're sitting there watching a movie. He's made all this money. And I think he was at like 40 something billion dollars at the time, net worth. And he didn't finish college. Like he went, but he like didn't finish. He dropped out. He wanted something else to do. So I never really thought about college. Even growing up, like people and teachers would tell me I would be dead or in jail before I was 18. So it was like I never even thought about being anything other than 18. I just wanted to be alive until I made it to 18. Then I could say ha, then figure out everything else from there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, college was like never really a thing for me.
Okay, wow, that's deep. So you make it 18, so now I'm alive, and then and so that was like, what's next?
So after I graduated high school, I was working at one of my uncle's clothing stores in the mall called Hall of Fame Clothing. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to open up 2 stores. They wanted to get out of the mall and open up a Hall of Fame on Davidson. And him and one of his partners, who is now like an uncle to me, wanted to open up like a regular clothing store. And they asked me to help them open it up basically and be the founding, like another founding partner of it, just be the one that runs it day to day. So opened up the clothing store on Dexter and Tyler in the hood. This was 2004, summer 2004. And there was nothing over there for real. It was a dry cleaners, a nail salon, Woody's ice cream, and an auto shop. But it was nothing clothing-wise over there. So opened it up, didn't have many clothes in there, but I think that's where I learned that how to treat people nicely no matter what they look like or where they come from, and how to ingratiate yourself in a community where it might not be the safest area. It's not the safest area. It's one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city, but they protected us because we respected them. I respected them. They respected me. So it was like we look out for you, you look out for us type situation. And then that store is still there today.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of the store again?
Gear Unlimited.
All right, so you guys know where to go visit Gear Unlimited. I love that. And so when you left for school, were you still able to like maintain it? How was that?
So I was there. I went to school in 2006. So I left the store, and it was like in its prime when I left. Almost like it was like a well-oiled machine. How I set everything up operations wise. Like anybody, you could damn near insert anybody in there, and they were. As a matter of fact, my brother started doing the day-to-day operations when I left. That's how like simple it was. Well, the customer base was not. They weren't simple, but the operations were. So I went to college. It was still going. I helped out whatever I could, with either picking clothes to purchase or whatever. But then, yeah, I was just a college student then.
And that's an interesting time because you said you went to college in 2006, right?
Yep.
So you study international business, you graduate because you went to Bethune-Cookman.
Yep.
And you come back to Detroit. What year was it when you came back to Detroit?
I came back to the city in 2010. To the end of 2010, I think it was.
How was the experience coming back home, especially during that time? A lot of people you don't know, that time when a lot of things were getting rebuilt and things like that, and just all these things, and that kind of, how was that experience, like business-wise, and just examining everything and navigating your career path?
It was crazy because I was in school, and it was like I was so far away, and I would fly home as often as I could. I was like known for coming home to get haircuts, and but like all of my friends were like doing a bunch of things. Like you had Sean going crazy at the time, Dusty going crazy, Nelson and my boy Jacob. They were doing this thing called 60 Degrees Entertainment. They were throwing parties, and then Jacob also had Studio 60. Who else? It was just like a lot of people doing stuff. Melissa was starting to like get into the motion of I'm about to do the lip bar situation, right? So it was just like I felt like I was missing out on everything, and it was like finally I could come home and be around my friends and help them out and hang out and do stuff like that I missed for the past 4 or 5 years.
That's amazing. I feel like your environment and who you hang around really affect. Like, okay, maybe I should do this. Maybe I want to do that. So what part of coming back home where you got the idea for like, let me think of an investing app?
So this is where it gets crazy. So 2012, so I left school. I was supposed to graduate 2011. A whole bunch of stuff happened. A teacher quit. I didn't end up graduating 2011. I ended up graduating 2012. So me and my brother actually graduated on the same day.
Wow.
He graduated from Howard, I graduated from Cookman. I was like, let's go to DC because there's nothing to do in Daytona Beach, and I'd much rather be in DC. Went to his home, went to his graduation, came back home. That Monday, I went to the store to go work. The store ends up getting robbed while I'm in there. While I went in there, 3 people robbed the store. There's some customers in there with me as well. They tell me like so many words, they about to kill me. So I go to get the money out the register because they couldn't get it out. One of the guys tells me to get on my knees with the gun. I always decided that my mother would never read about me dying execution style. Never in life. That's not gonna be an article she reads. If I die, I'm gonna be like, he was fighting. So, you know what I'm saying? She can have at least that. So I fake like I'm getting on my knees. I grab the gun that's in my face, turn it to the dude, try to pull the trigger. The safety's on, doesn't go off. Then he yells out, I'm still trying to get the safety off. He yells out to the guy, another guy had a gun. He comes, puts the gun in my face, pulls the trigger 5 times, it never goes off. And I'm looking at the gun, never goes off. So I'm like, okay. The dude runs away. I go to push the dude so I could grab the gun. I slip on some boxes. The dude turns, fires, shoots me. They run out, leave. I go through the whole process. The bullet like went in one side, went out the other, didn't hit anything. But when I'm laying in the hospital, I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I can't go back there. I know that my family never gonna let me go back there. My uncle never let me go back there and work in the store again. Got to figure out something to do. So I started thinking about, why did they rob me? Like, get to the root of the issue. Why did they rob me? Whatever, you needed money, whatever the situation was, it came down to economics at the end of the day to me. So I thought, okay, so how can I make it so that don't happen to nobody else again? Or to me again, at least. Then it came down to, I need economics. So then I thought, what makes people billionaires? So as I'm recuperating, I started researching what makes people the billionaires now. Like, what industry are people becoming billionaires the fastest in? And the two were fintech and medtech. Medtech's barrier is way higher than fintech's barrier, even though fintech has a super high barrier. But it was easier to get into fintech. So then I was like, okay, fintech. I looked up what it was, because it was a new term back then, like 2012. So I'm like, okay, what do I need? You need money first. All right, what's the way to make money using fintech and where I can grow? Stocks. So I go to create an investment trading app on E-Trade. I go to get an account, and it's super hard to set up, $9.99 a trade. This is before Robinhood was doing it for free. So I'm like, okay, this is hard enough already, whatever. So then I go to buy some stock, and I'm searching the stock company name, but I don't know, because I don't know the stock ticker name. So I'm searching the company name, and nothing's popping up. I'm like, I know their company is publicly traded. I've seen their IPO. Nothing's popping up, nothing's popping up, nothing's popping up. Because E-Trade didn't have that at the time. You had to type in the exact ticker. So then I'm on Google, and this is before Google started putting, when you type in the company name, sometimes it'll pop up the ticker. So I'm searching on Google. I spent like 3 hours doing this for one company. So I hit my group chat with one of them people in it. One of my brothers. He's a financial advisor. So I'm like, yo, is there a service that y'all use where I could just type in a company's name and their stock ticker pops up? And he's like, let me find out. And he's like, no, that don't exist. So I'm like, what about if whatever I do on the internet that day, it's like keeps track of everything and it'll give me the stock ticker? And he was like, no, that don't exist either. So I'm like, okay. So then I thought about, the idea was to create a plugin for a web browser where you download it, and every site that you go to, that plugin is at the top, and it'll tell you that company. Like if you go to Nike.com and say Nike stock, this is the current price. You can buy it right now if you wanted to. So that's what I came up with in 2012. And yeah.
Oh, wow. So how you come up with the name Stockpile?
I wanted it to be something familiar and something direct. So I looked at the name PayPal. It was familiar to people. And I wanted it to be like a PayPal is a pal. Like if you got to pay somebody, you could pay a pal, or it can help you out like a pal. So I wanted to help people out with their stocks. So I wanted to be people's stock pal.
Oh, wow. Okay. I like the name. It sounds very like not intimidating. Because like when people think of money or investing, people feel like it's very far reach if you did not study that, or just not really familiar in that area. It can be intimidating people and make people not want to learn more about it.
100%.
So I feel like I believe a name is very important. Like Robinhood, it's a reason called Robinhood, trying to help the less fortunate.
Less fortunate, yeah, 100%.
So that's very creative. So what year is this when you I'm gonna create what's missing?
Okay.
What year was this?
That was when I came with the name 2012.
2012. So this was when you were still in the hospital, when you left the hospital?
I was at home, like, recovering.
Okay. So you're recovering. How was the journey of putting it together? Because when people think of starting a company, especially a financial tech company,
right.
they think you need like billions of dollars or all these investors. Like, okay, so you have the name. Did you ever once feel intimidated or like, how I'm going to get this, or you just went in full force?
I don't want to say I necessarily felt intimidated. I knew I wouldn't be able to do it immediately, and I also knew I didn't want to do it immediately because, like Big Sean, he was an example for me to want to wait to become successful, because like he became successful so early on, and it limited things that he was be able to do, and I didn't want that, because I knew once I like gave it my all, I was going to be successful. I was going to do it. It was going to do the thing. It was going to become successful. But I wanted to live life first. I wanted to enjoy life, enjoy my family, enjoy my friends, do things as a normal person, as normal as possible it could be, and go from there. So 2012, I had the idea. I'm like, okay. Then I also what took me, because how much it cost, the barrier to entry, right? So I looked up and it said to build like a high-end fintech app, average cost was like $100,000 to $200,000. So I knew at least I needed $100,000. I don't know nobody that's about to give me $100,000. So I'm like, all right, I need to work, hustle, save up my money, and pay for that shit myself eventually. And that's what I did.
I commend you for that. So making your first $100,000, what advice would you give to people who want to make that first $100,000? Like, also, how did you stay focused on that? Because sometimes it gets intimidating, like, oh, I want to go on this trip. Let me take some money out my little fund. Like, what made you stay focused, and what helped you reach that goal, and how many years it took?
I mean, you just got to know what you want in life. So from 2012 to 2020, that's how long it took. So you just got to know, like, hey, eventually I want to live like this. Like, you do the things, like I'm not saying you don't live life and you sacrifice everything for 8 years. Like, I didn't do that at all. I lived life. I enjoyed life. I went places. I traveled. I did a bunch of stuff. I spent money on things I probably shouldn't have spent money on. And you know what I'm saying? I saved money that I should have saved. But how you make that 100,000, I mean, that's up to you. If it takes going to a job, it depends on how much you want to give up in order to achieve your ultimate goal. It's going to take time. Like people say, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
No, that's true. You have to have patience, and a lot of times in today's social media and society, a lot of people have like a popcorn mentality, where everyone just wants everything right then and there.
100%. So
when you tell somebody like, yeah, you know, it might take 5 years, they're gonna look at you like, what?
Right.
But tomorrow's closer today than it was yesterday.
100%.
So you have to have that mindset.
Yeah.
So, okay, we get to 2020. You got it. So what's the next step that took you to get it to, and then this is the time of the pandemic as well, too.
100%.
So that's an interesting time. So what was your next step to get to the next level?
So 2020, pre-pandemic, I was in New Orleans with my brother, I think like January, and I was having a conversation with him, and I was like, I'm ready to start. He was like, you sure? I'm like, I'm ready. Now's the time. I'm ready to go for it, full on, boom. Because I'm like close to the goal. Then pandemic hit. I'm like, okay, damn. But what the pandemic did was it brought all those prices down. Because initially a lot of people got laid off. A lot of people were just sitting at home bored, nothing to do. So I found a developer from one of my friends named Bags. He recommended him to me. Bags does like website development and stuff. So he like knows those circles. I didn't know those circles. I'm from like music and the streets. So he recommends this guy. The guy gets to, tells me whatever. I don't have any outside access to anybody, advisor, to tell me any steps. Like whatever he tells me, I'm thinking that's what you got to do. I'm paying him monthly. He builds something, but turns out, so then he's not delivering enough for me. Like once I paid him for so many months, he's not delivering enough for me. So then 2021, I go to find a new developer. The new developer comes back to me and was like, yeah, he built it completely wrong. You can't use anything he built. So you just spent X amount of dollars on nothing, basically. And he was like, I feel so sorry for you. He was like, my heart is broken for you right now. I literally, you can't do anything. Because when you're transferring money, you can't have a space. Because he built it so I could use it. He built this like a shortcut so you could use an Apple and Android store at the same time to build one app. But you have to build natively whenever you have anything transferring money. You can't have that space in between. So he knew that. So then I went with him and he was like, all right, just give me a down payment. I'll pay the rest to my company. He'll pay his employees for me. He'll pay everybody for me. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. Or like, you want equity? He's like, no equity. Just, I believe in the idea. I know you're going to get invested one day. You're going to pay me back. So he started building it. He built the web version. He built the iOS version. We found partners to handle the brokerage as a service. Found partners to handle market data, Benzinga. What's up, Jason? We found partners to do like tokenization and Evervault, where that means like you put in your personal information, it gets sent to me, but I don't see anything. Like anything you type in on StockPal right now, I don't even know what your name is. I could just see the number of people that are signed up. I can't see anything because it's all scrambled. It looks like gibberish. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you didn't get discouraged because I don't know how some people can take. You mean I spent what?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was almost all my money I spent on that. And yeah. So people are so surprised, like when they were like, oh, you're not bad. I was like, I mean, what can I do? It was him, because that was his job to know, but it was also my job to know as well. So it's like I can't fault nobody.
And then when did you decide to include AI in it? I know AI is still a new term and things like that.
So yeah, AI isn't new. It's newish to us. It's getting marketed to us now, right? So AI has been around for like over 40 years. And we've been using it. We just don't know. You just don't know what it is that you're using. Initially, when I even building it, I learned that I needed AI. I didn't know that it needed AI. I learned that it needed AI in order to be able to see what the information that it's getting and be able to decide what is a publicly traded brand or company that you've interacted with. And we initially started building our own AI. And then ChatGPT released OpenAI, the learning language model, and then that like pushed us for like 3 more years. So like I was telling you earlier, like y'all wouldn't even know about it if it wasn't for certain hiccups. Y'all really wouldn't have known about it if ChatGPT had released, because I wouldn't have been able to release it probably till like 2025, 2026, yeah.
And then with that being said, with like other like ChatGPT, can you explain to people like how your platform leverages artificial intelligence to assist investors? Like,
so every single day, right? You use whether Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Medium, Discord. You use these things, and people talk about whatever they want to talk about. People you follow, and you yourself. So you might say, like, so your friends might say things like, "Yeah, those new Doritos, flaming hot Doritos, are super good," and then a bunch of people start talking about it, right? You can't invest in Doritos, but you can. There's the company that owns Doritos, Pepsi. A lot of people don't know that Doritos is owned by Pepsi. So then we use AI because we have a whole database of all the publicly traded companies and then their brands that they own. So like there are some companies like Procter & Gamble own like 800 different brands. But you keeping track of all 800 brands of Procter & Gamble is highly unlikely. So what the AI does is it keeps tracks of it, and then when it gets a mention, it tells you that, hey, this goes with this, and it just sends it to you nice and packaged.
Okay. And then when telling more people about it, what's like been the challenges of like getting people to, get into the investing of like doing an investing app? Because some people are very like, oh, I'm so confused about it. Has that been difficult, like, communicating it to people?
Kind of, because people want tangible things. People want it in their hand now. They want to be like, oh, I can download it right now in the App Store. And you're like, no, you can't. You gotta like go to the website and register. And then one day you're gonna be able to download it because it costs so much money to start a fintech. Like I'm raising $1.5 million a pre-seed round, which nobody I know knows how to do other than Melissa, but she's in consumer packaged goods. So that's a whole different category. Like, so she knows how to raise money for that, not fintech. So it's like a different ball game. And even people that know how to raise money for fintech, it's still like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So there's that aspect, but other than that, when I tell people like, hey, your life is investable. Literally, your life is investable. It's helping you monetize your socials without having to monetize your social. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't want to be on there, hey, this water and selling it and then put ad at the bottom. You rather just be like, okay, the things I naturally interact with and incur can become investable in my life, and I can make money that way potentially.
No, that's true. It's like you don't think about it, like, wow, your life is investable. I like that. I was like, wow. When you think about it, it's like,
your life is investable.
You should put that as your motto.
Yeah, that's the reason what I just came up with. That's why I said it.
Oh my goodness. Well, please make sure you copyright that. But yeah, so you mentioned how, because now you in the active part of the journey of, the life of being a founder and CEO.
Right.
Can you explain getting the money together, like the crowdfunding or the? So
that is a route you can take, crowdfunding, which I think I'm about to go that route sooner than later. But so the typical stages of raising rounds for a company is bootstrap, which is you put all your money up. You whatever money you have, you pay to get at least to a certain stage. Typically, this is for the typical. Then you have pre-seed, which is people with ideas. So like if I was white and went to Stanford or Harvard, I can go to one of the coasts and say, hey, I have this great idea and raise a bunch of money off of my just idea, not having built anything. And then you have seed, which is, okay, I have this idea, I have this thing built. I just need some of y'all money to help prove that what I built, people want. And then you have the series rounds, which are A, B, C, all the way up to whatever. Those are for, okay, we know people want this thing. We're getting it to people. We just need y'all money to get it to more people. Because if we had your 10 million, we could turn our 100,000 customers into 5 million customers, basically. So, and then you just get more rounds for growth until you either make an exit where somebody buys your company, or you do an IPO, which is you offer shares to the public.
Okay, I can see that. And as a Black founder, what challenges or obstacles have you faced with just running a fintech company, as well as going through the rounds of funding?
Just getting initial funding, period. Like getting to a second conversation with people, getting to a third conversation with people, getting people that really are interested in actually funding your ideas. Like at the end of the day, whether you're Black or white, it's hard to start a company, right? It's hard to be a founder. You have a bunch of things that you have to go through. I don't care who you are. Even if you found a company, right, and you get the money, that doesn't necessarily mean your company's gonna be successful. So founding a company is hard, but then being Black and founding a company, right, is even harder. And then it's even harder, past me being a Black male, it's even harder to be a Black woman founding a company, right? Because they get even less than Black men get. So I think total is like 1% of funding goes to Black founders. So, and we're not 1% of the population. So there's that. So yeah, so being a founder is hard. Being a Black founder is damn near impossible. So you just gotta try. You gotta try to outsmart their game, basically.
No, you do. It's all about mentality. And do you feel like that will help you not get discouraged? Because there's so many like ups and downs, and then people probably not coming back to you, or people not even like say, oh yeah, we'll meet, but never following up. Right. Like what help you not get discouraged? Or
I don't know. Probably my general attitude of like I can like do it myself. Like that's what I've been trying to figure out. That's why I said I'm probably going to end up going crowdfunding route because I'm not going to need to raise another round after I raise the initial to get it launched because I have a path to profitability where earlier where most people don't, right? So, and I know how to hustle. I know how to make $1.5 million look like somebody gave me $15 million. So, which most people don't know how to do because they're not hustlers. They not, you know what I'm saying? They just kids that come from money or have access to stuff that I never had access to. So I've had to learn how to be creative in everything I do in life. But it's, yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting to get discouraged, actually. Like I'm waiting to see like the day I feel like, oh, I can't do this, what that feels like, because I want to experience it. Maybe I won't ever experience it. Maybe that's just not my personality or who I am. But yeah, there's nothing nobody can do to discourage me because I mean, I know what I did. Like I've looked at death and said nothing, right? So if looking at death and I didn't get discouraged when I seen a gun in my face, most somebody could tell me is no, I don't care. Like, I'ma still be living. At the end of the day, I'ma still walk around out here. I'ma still call my mama. I'ma still do a bunch of things. Like, at one point, I thought I was dying. So.
No, that's a unique mindset. You're the first person to ever hear to say, I want to be discouraged. That is, wow, that is different. But
I mean, you never like see people do things and like be like, oh damn, I want to experience how it feels to like fail and not succeed. Like damn, everything I've ever done in life.
Just so you can like have something to compare it to.
Right.
Yes. Now that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So how important to you is collaboration and partnerships in the tech industry, and have you formed any strategic alliances or support that have been instrumental in your company's growth?
For sure, that shit is, you have to find people that have similar goals to you, that like want to, and that look like you, that want to scale companies, that want to grow, that want to see you grow because they know it'll benefit everybody, right? So I go to this thing called Black Tech Saturdays. I was introduced to it by Mark from Breadless, him and his wife Latricia. They started Breadless with Ryan. And Mark told me like, yeah, this dude, Johnny Turner, she's starting this thing, Black Tech Saturdays, you should go. So I went to one of the first Saturday in June, Hill Harper spoke, met Johnny. He was like super energetic, like somebody I'd never met before, like, right? And then his first question to me was like, how can I help you? So I'm like, well, shit, I need money at this point, whatever. So he introduced me to a couple people. So I kept going back. Then I met this dude named Darren who, so Johnny started Black Tech Saturdays with his wife Alexa. And then they also started a company called Even Score. And then they introduced me to a dude named Darren Riley who started a company called Just Air, who does air quality monitors in neighborhoods. And he just recently got a contract from Wayne County to put up air quality monitors to help with pollution, which is super needed, super necessary, especially with the trajectory the Earth is going. So I met them, and then Johnny just was like, okay, go here, you need to do this, go to this event. Hey, I got tickets for you to go to Black Tech Week. What's up, you wanna go? For sure, I'll go, cool. Black Tech Saturdays, oh, they just gave us a block of desks at New Lab. You want a desk to come here and work at New Lab when you want to? Yeah, for sure. So, and then now you're in rooms with people that are investing in things that you are building, or can introduce you to people that are doing things similar to you that might have scaled their companies and sold it, and they can help you with whatever they can help you with. So there are people that want to see you win and succeed. Nobody thinks that you're winning is taken away from them winning. It's more so like, if you win, that's crispy because you came from us. So now everybody gonna look at us like, okay, who's the next one out of y'all that's gonna win? So getting the community, I feel like is super, super important as early as possible, because these people have either gone through what you're going through, or they know somebody who went through what you're going through, or even if none of that's occurred, they're willing to help you go through what you're going through.
No, that's true. That's really true. So I know you mentioned like, okay, like you want a desk. Do you have like, and that means you have to make your schedule and things like that. What's like your daily schedule as a founder and CEO? And do you have a team, and that affect like how much work you have to put in?
So my schedule is probably not typical to most founders, because a lot of founders are like technical founders, so they know how they do the work themselves. I'm a non-technical founder. I'm just a guy like Steve Jobs, full of ideas, knows the path to get the ideas created and executed. I just can't do it. I need help. So I do have a team. I work with Erica Phillips. She's like the COO, UX, UI designer, so she's a Black woman. She designed how Stockpile looks. Then my contractor is Imad Ali. He has a software development firm out of Boston. Super smart, like genius level kid. He's young. He started his company when he was 13. And then my brother helps with marketing. And then with Imad, it comes a whole team. So my day is basically spent, I wake up, I read, I drink a tea that I make out of cacao, turmeric, pepper, and honey. And I try to watch like one episode of some anime, because it's super creative. And then I'll just go to work on Stockpile, whether it's sending out emails, reaching out to VCs, trying to do whatever I can, whatever my part, like build social, do some social stuff for socials, reach out on my social, tell people to sign up at stockpile.ai. You can register today. You can link your Twitter, Twitch, and Spotify. Soon you'll be able to link your Discord, Medium, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Yeah. So doing stuff like that. And going to seminars, fundraising events, anything that I can to meet new people that could possibly help me.
Oh, wow. Okay. And I feel like you inspired a lot of people that are not as tech savvy, that you can still be a founder and you could be a non-technical founder.
100%.
So that's amazing. But still, okay, being the founder, you have to build a team. What advice you can give to people who want to build a team? Like things they should know when putting people together. Because some people are like, oh, yeah, I can just hire my cousin. It's like, you got to make sure they, You
got to make sure, that people understand your vision, right, first. So, like with anybody, like I feel like Imad was the first person to have the aha moment immediately, right? This is what you're doing. Oh, okay, bet. Yeah, I want to do that. Some people get it later. Some people might not ever get it at all, but you have to talk to people and feel like, what would be your reasoning to want to help me? If it's just purely financial, cool. Those people, because if they do the work and can produce, and it's just purely they just want to check, cool, that's fine. But to some people, they like, okay, I might not want to check. I want equity because I know where it's going, and I'm gonna show you how much work I'm gonna put in, and I'm gonna do the work no matter what. Then those people you keep around, those are probably people that be around longer, like the Steve Ballmers for Microsoft. And then some people you might want to hire, and you do hire them, and they do some work, but it's not enough. You got to know when to say no, So I haven't had to really hire a team yet. But I got lucky with the people that I did choose, like to help me with this process as far as I've come. Because I'm further than probably some people that have had funding.
No, you have to. It takes a lot to call the decisions, because if anything goes wrong or anything happens, it's on you.
100%.
So you have to be very secure in what of the decisions you make.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's real. And what is your future? What do you hope to see Stockpile in the next 2 to 5 years?
So I actually have a timeline. So 2 to 5 years, Stockpile will be launched. The pro version will be launched, so you'll be able to get deeper market insights that aren't as personal. So you like insights as far as how the weather affects certain stock prices, insights as far as how different things in global conditions and news can affect stock prices, like for instance, Ukraine war, that affects certain company stock prices. And then we'll have the Stockpile Exchange launch, where we'll let small businesses that want to raise capital put themselves on our exchange, and it'll look like an actual stock exchange, and people can purchase shares of that company. So that company can raise funds to do whatever they need to do, so they don't have to go through things that I went through. And also, within the first 5 years, we'll have our ad network set up where people will get better ads, targeted ads, not the ones that you see now on whatever services you see them. And we should have the model set up where we share the ad revenue with the person. So like, if we sell X amount of dollars, to one company, we'll send you this amount of money, and then every time every company buys your profile, we'll send you money.
Okay. Look, so different ways to make some money.
Yes.
And I love that how you mentioned in your early years, like you have this circle of amazing friends and peers. Like you mentioned Sean and Melissa Butler and a few other entrepreneurs. What is it about Detroit that you say that produced hustlers, especially that you left Detroit but you came back and you stayed here?
I think it's just it's how we grew up. I've been to every major city in the U.S. outside of Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii. So 47 states, I've been to every major city. And every major city is like a black side, white side, and it's like okay, that's the white side, this the black side. They have to navigate being black in white spaces majority of their lives. Whereas you have Detroit, black side, black side, black side, black side, Mexican side. So it's like we never really had to navigate being black in white spaces. So I feel like it made us way more confident. It made us way more, and we saw like everywhere we went, it was black people doing the things. It was black people that own this store, black people that own this shop. So we took it for granted, I think, or it wasn't praised to the scale that it should have been to go to a city full of black entrepreneurs. Where other places, it's like, oh, I'm a black, opening up this black business. And it's like, we had that in Detroit 30 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had the African World Festival just celebrated 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that. That we know that we can do whatever. We all have this mentality of I can do whatever. And we all have like the boss mentality, but it's like because we were surrounded and raised by literal bosses, like people that worked for themselves. And, I think that just give us the confidence to say, okay, you doing that, I can do it too. Why can't I do it? Melissa, like, why, if Mac is making lipstick, why can't Melissa Butler make lipstick? Because I'm way swaggier, I got way better ideas. I got a target audience that y'all don't even think about, and I'm crispy.
I love that. First of all, I'm glad you was inclusive. You talked about Southwest. But it's so true. I feel like we do take that for granted. And it's so different when you meet other people from other cities. Like a lot of people don't have the experience of growing up in a city where you are the majority.
Right.
So it's something you should not take for granted. And speaking of money, how can someone make money quick today if they want to build like their nest egg? Or try to get that money, get together, make their first 100K?
There's no such thing as quick money. I'm gonna say that. No, it's no such thing. But you can. Well, a lot of people don't know is you can buy wealth, right? So life insurance is a way to buy wealth. And certain life insurance policies, they let you pull on that policy. So say you got $1 million policy, you make so many payments for so many years, say over like 5 years, you pay into that policy however much, you can eventually draw down some of that money and use that money as a loan. So in 5 years, you could potentially have $100,000 if you have $1 million policy and you paid it on time and paid so much into it. So that would be like the quickest get rich, get my $100,000 way that I would know of possibly. Or, you know, you invested in the stock market. The stock market is designed to go up over a year, over so many years. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking the mental notes down.
I have an advisor for you if you need some
life insurance. Well, please send me that advisor.
I got you.
And then, so how many years will the end of this year make since being a founder and CEO?
Of Stockpile. So technically Stockpile Inc. was started February of this year. So I would say technically it won't be a year, but the idea of Stockpile has been around since 2012. So, and I've been working on it for that. Like I thought about that's the thing. Ever since I had the idea, I thought about it every single day. So like I haven't. So probably at the end of this year, it'll be 12 years then. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as we round it out, what would you say have been the biggest lesson or lessons you have gained from being a founder and working on this business?
The biggest lesson is nobody gonna believe in what you're doing like you. And if you don't believe in it, why would somebody else believe in it? Like, for instance, if I'm raising $1.5 million, everybody says don't put your own money into it. If I had $1.5 million, I would put all $1.5 million in the Stockpile today. Like if somebody gave me that or I found it outside, I would put every single dollar in the Stockpile. That's how much I believe in it. Like you have to be willing to put everything you have, which I literally did, put everything, every single dollar I had into Stockpile because I believed in it that much and I knew that outside of it helping me financially and my family financially eventually one day, it will help 90% of the people in America who don't have access to a financial advisor. It will help them in a meaningful way because the two biggest barriers to a normal person like you being a successful investor is access to actionable information, which is things that something I could give you where you can go and invest it on your own if you want to use it, and knowledge of the stock market. Ooh. So if I'm giving you both, I'm setting you up for success.
Building that generational wealth.
You feel me?
And my last question would be, I want you to think back to your 18th birthday when you was like, now I'm alive. What would you say to your 18-year-old self that made it to see
where I am today, 37 years old?
Mm-hmm. I mean, what would you say to the 18-year-old that, you said didn't really know what's next? Turning 18, what would you say to your younger self?
I hear people get these questions. Like I see interviews where people get these questions and...
Cause that was a pivotal moment.
They always answer it, but I don't know if I would tell my 18-year-old self anything because I feel like he knew who he was. He knew he was special. He knew he was different. That's how I grew up. So like it was like people would tell me these things like I'd be dead or in jail because they assumed I was bad. They never assumed that, hey, I'm smarter than the information you're giving me and I'm just bored. So I don't think I would tell him anything because, I mean, it might change. I might not get here, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know if everything that I've done got me to here, like pushed me here, even almost getting my head blown off, like pushed me here. Like if that didn't happen, would I still be at the store? If the gun had went off and I killed the dudes instead, what type of person would I have been then? You know what I'm saying? It's so many different things that I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't tell him anything. I would probably just be like, shit. I don't know, like literally, I don't know what I would do. I'll just pat him on the back, like, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's all right. Happy birthday. It's all right.
That is amazing. That is not
Don't
only
call that
funny.
girl back. It's like, no.
That's one thing to say. And so, what would you tell people how they can find Stockpile? How can they sign up?
Okay, so you can find Stockpile on Instagram at stockpile.ai. On Twitter at stockpile_. I'm not really active on there. I'm gonna get more active on that. You can go to the website Stockpile, STOCKPAL.ai. You can see what we're doing. I think we're about to change the website. Even though it's a phenomenal website, I'm about to make it look even crazier. And then you can register your account. You can get your username and password now. And then you can link a few social accounts. We're gonna add more, like I said. And that's the beginning, because the more of you that sign up, that's the more traction I have, what they call it. So the more people with money can't ignore me. Because if I say, yeah, look, I'm coming with 10,000 people ready to use this app, then it's like, oh, okay, bet. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, don't forget to subscribe to Take TV, and I'm Cynthia LaShawn, and we'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.